Good, happy Tuesday morning, December 22nd, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday morning, so let's get started. First up, we're going to begin with COVID-19 updates. More than 800 new cases of COVID-19 announced, no new deaths or hospitalizations. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
This year, I got the most unique gift for the holidays. My wife gave me a Flame Air Club membership for Christmas. One of the many things
Here in New Hampshire tonight, new numbers, 847 new confirmed cases in the state for a test positivity rate of 7.3%. There were no new deaths tonight. But more than 6,600 people have active cases tonight, and 278 people remain hospitalized.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your New Hampshire COVID information. New updates and data. Let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that information for all of you right now. There are 37,388 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. There are 17,947,644 number of people in the United States that have tested positive. There are 656 number of people who have died from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. There are 889 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire, and 318,602 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. And now let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. In Nashua, 524. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Nashua, 3398. Now let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart here. New cases each day. New Hampshire in the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases. Orange, new hospitalization. And red, deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Current cases in the purple, total current COVID-19 cases. Orange, current hospitalization. Let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the purple, total positive COVID-19 cases. Orange, total hospitalization. Red, deaths. And blue, recovered. Let's take a look at this chart here. Positive PCR test rate, positive PCR and antigen test rate, and daily PCR test. Let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases and female and male of cases. Let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, rate/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, difficult breathing, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. First round of COVID-19 vaccines head to long-term care facilities around the country. CVS Health, Walgreens pharmacies tapped by federal government for distribution. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
With adaptive cruise control, once you engage it and set the follow distance, you're good to go. And with selectable drive modes, you can adjust to changing conditions and surfaces. It's so easy, and you can do it on the fly.
first vials carrying Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine arrived at CVS locations across the country this morning.
Select stores with CVS are actually housing the vaccine. The pharmacists will go to those stores, the depot stores, and then they will go out from there to the clinics.
Deliveries to long-term care facilities will be staggered throughout the coming days. CVS will administer the vaccine in 12 states, including New Hampshire, this week, while others will start early January. In total, 182 Granite State locations will host clinics, vaccinating some 26,000 people.
Every patient can get it. We're going to give the most vulnerable patients it first. So the frontline healthcare workers and the people that are in these long-term care facilities that really have suffered the most.
Then we'll go back again and yet again to do the second dose and to make sure we capture anyone else who has come through the system up to that point. So it'll be a total of 3 visits to each long-term care facility.
CVS expects to vaccinate up to 4 million residents and staff at over 40,000 long-term care facilities through this program.
It's incredible. I mean, 2020 has been a difficult year, and we've all been waiting for something like this to happen, and it's upon us. We're ready to move forward.
And CVS says although it's beginning with long-term care facilities, it also has an agreement with the government to distribute the vaccine to the general public at 10,000 of its locations across the country. That is set to begin sometime in 2021. Reporting live tonight, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Cases rising in Berlin prison aimed concerns from family members. Officials maintain CDC guidelines being followed. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Jennifer Crompton.
This year, I got the most unique gift for the holidays. My wife gave me a Flavier Club membership.
There are currently 146 inmates at the men's prison in Concord testing positive for COVID-19, up 33 from last week. And in Berlin, 55 cases since the first one on December 14th, just updated to 70 tonight. Loved ones expressing concerns, including a woman who doesn't want to be identified, fearing retaliation for her boyfriend. He's inside Berlin, is positive with underlying medical issues, consoling him over the phone.
Try to hold on, and he just keeps saying that he doesn't want to die like this. He's like, I'm in so much pain. I can't even hold the phone.
She claims he's been housed in a gym with other positive inmates and is not getting enough medical attention. She's reached out to the prison system.
The guy's exact words were, well, this is jail, and this is not, basically like a daycare. This is jail. And I'm all like, okay, I know it's jail, but because it's jail, that means that they have to suffer.
An inmate we spoke with on the phone who doesn't want to be identified has so far tested negative. And while the State Department of Corrections has told News 9 that CDC guidelines are being followed, the inmate has concerns.
There's pods that are going to town, 40 to 70 people at a time with no mask on in the town. You got to eat together. It's just a matter of time before someone dies.
Now, a statement from the Department of Corrections maintains that all are being overseen by medical personnel, that a staff member in Berlin tested positive in November, but that it's impossible to know how or who brought it into the facility, and that given community spread, it's long been a matter of not if, but when. We're live in Portsmouth, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Congress expected to extend eviction moratorium another month. Landlords, tenants both in need of assistance. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
I used to hate backing up my trailer.
This F-150 has an available feature that makes it really easy. Now I do it like a pro. The Ford F-150.
Just as tenants are being pushed against the wall for no money, so are the landlords.
With New Hampshire having less than a 2% vacancy rate at this point, there's unfortunately just nowhere for people to go.
The current federal eviction moratorium issued by the CDC prevents landlords from evicting tenants for failing to pay rent if they meet certain prerequisites. Once a tenant gives their landlord a filled-out CDC declaration form, the eviction is halted. But people can still be evicted for other reasons. And some attorneys believe there are instances where landlords are trying to evict people for things they normally wouldn't.
And we've received, some recent information from an attorney who represents landlords that landlords are becoming aware of the moratorium and perhaps ways to get around it. It matches up a little bit with what we were seeing.
There are many times where the reason primarily isn't to pay to pay rent, although coincidentally they're not. The reason is they are disrupting the health and safety of the entire building.
Both sides anticipate the new stimulus bill in Congress will extend the eviction moratorium from December 31st to January 31st.
There are a lot of landlords that are hurting this push, and they've been kind of hanging on to December 31st. Now it's another month. I think you're going to see a lot of foreclosures.
It's certainly a relief to our clients to at least be assured that they have 30 more days of housing.
And both attorneys think there will be money in the new bill for rental assistance.
They would like their landlords to have the rent money too, because if they don't get it to them, they'll be evicted when the moratorium runs out.
I see after the moratorium, there will be a mini tsunami of evictions.
And when the moratorium ends, tenants will have to pay the rent due, and your eviction process will pick up from the point when it was halted. Reporting live, Jessica Miranda-Biennoir, News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Nashua aldermen consider 9:30 p.m. curfew for establishments like bars and restaurants. Decision could come Tuesday night. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Charisse LeClaire.
Challenge yourself to the career you want. Challenge accepted.
Purdue University Global. Affordable online education for driven working adults. Apply now at purdueglobal.edu.
Tonight's special meeting of the Board of Aldermen was overwhelmed by pleas from those in the restaurant industry for the aldermen not to pass the proposed curfew.
We have 171 employees that work at Boston Billiard Club. If this goes through, when you vote yes tomorrow, there's over 100 people that are going to go out of work tomorrow.
Many employees of Nashua-based Boston Billiard Club and Casino spoke out, worried about their financial futures.
I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. And if that happens, I don't know what I'm supposed to be able to do after that point.
Business owners worried that this could mean even more harm to their bottom line.
If we go to a 9:30 curfew, we will see layoffs. That's absolutely going to happen.
Nashua health leaders defending the ordinance tonight, saying their concern and focus has to be on safety, and cases are rising in their city, and strain is being put on local hospitals in terms of staffing.
This is not an easy, decision or conversation to be had. But it is something that's important, and we need to think about the safety and the well-being of our members in our community.
I don't want to ruin somebody's life by having them lose their job, but I don't want to ruin somebody's life by enabling a scenario where they lose their life.
Now, a decision could be reached on this at the Board of Aldermen's scheduled meeting tomorrow night. Reporting live, I'm Charisse LeClaire, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.